think of
This isn't really a random thought, but something happened. There's a wasp floating in the water. Turns out it wasn't dead, and it latched onto me somehow and stung me. And
oh,
I thought it was dead in the pool.
in a pool,
Yeah,
a wasp.
yeah.
How?
I don't know.
How did it latch onto you? Like, wouldn't
I don't. Maybe there's another wasp that landed on me, but when I
you
looked
just
behind me after I got stung, there's one.
there was no wasp? It
I
was
don't
gone,
know.
disappeared.
I heard a car squeal by on the street.
That okay. So that's a random just thought to go off of. Well, I was gonna go more along the lines because I watch a YouTuber, Mini Lad, and he has this like new segment where it's just random thoughts that he thinks of or whatever. He was talking about how whenever he's like listening to music or whatever, like walking down the street riding a bike, and he's listening to music or driving in the car, he for some
Mhm.
reason if he's listening to like say because he doesn't listen to like charts like to top songs like recent songs or whatever. So if he's like listening to say like Kendrick Lamar, right? If
Yeah.
he's listening in the car, he's listening to Be Humble or Humble, not Be Humble.
Yeah.
Um, if he passes, like sees that someone's coming towards him or at like is at a stop, he will change it to any other song but that. Because to him, for some reason, he can't have like other people like assuming that he's just like, oh, you're one of those people like that has to listen to whatever's on the radio or whatever. So that's like his mental like process thing. So I was just wondering, like, I've never caught myself doing that. But like, have you in
Yeah, I
any
don't.
situation like, or maybe you're just like chilling in your house and then like you realize someone's home and you just change a song because you don't want them to hear what you're actually listening to?
Mostly, I only do that with YouTube because I only listen to a lot of music.
So like, there's just like some people that you don't want like family to figure out.
Yeah, I mean something like bad, but I don't really want them to know.
Okay, that sounds very suspicious.
Yeah, I guess it does.
What you hiding there, Jacob?
Uh, I watch Mojo.
Oh wow,
No, I'm
that's
kidding.
that's definitely something to hide, especially when they do their top 10 hottest or whatever.
Yeah, top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah, totally. Hang on, I'm pulling. I feel like I have some things written down. Just give me a sec.
Alright.
Mayhem Rumble.
All right. So we were just like you know how there are certain words that like
Good luck.
after you spell them a certain amount of times or like say them, they start to sound like off or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you ever think like the person who first came up with that word or whatever had that like in mind, like they intentionally made it that way to
I don't know.
like that's the biggest troll that anyone's ever done to us secretly.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, think about like it's your job to make a new word for something, right?
Hmm.
And you're just like, I'm gonna make this word after a while like the most like confusing thing. Because I
Yeah.
mean, could you imagine how great that would be to have that responsibility as your own? Like of making a new word and you're just like, I'm gonna F with everyone. Like I'm just gonna fuck up with everyone. And you just make it like the easiest word to misspell or whatever. Like, you could do
I
so
don't know
many
why,
things.
but I like this is such a simple word, but I can never spell right. I can never spell tomorrow right.
Really?
I don't know why.
Just
yeah.
that word, just tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean,
you
it's so
should be
simple, but I can never get it.
right? I kind of feel like you should just be ashamed of yourself for that.
But like, I'm a pretty good speller. I just can't spell tomorrow.
Like, tomorrow is just the one word you can never spell right.
Yeah.
I mean, I somewhat
about
get it. Like, again, somewhat. But I've never... See, the words... There's no... Oh! No, but... Okay, so you know... This is going off on another tangent just because we're talking about words and stuff. So you know how other countries, like, say things differently, obviously, than, you know, in, like, some countries, you know, it's just different words that they use instead of... You know, like the UK and the US obviously have their differences. Are French fries.
Biscuits are cookies over there.
I think biscuits. I can't remember. Anywho, you know that's a thing, right? Guess what Canada calls colored pencils?
Colored,
If you get this, I will be very surprised.
I have no idea.
Pencil crayons.
What? That's the
Yes.
dumbest thing ever.
Yes, Canadians call colored pencils pencil crayons. And it irritates me so much.
That kind of makes me mad.
I know, right? Because, like, colored pencils, like, not because, you know, obviously we're being biased because we're from the U.S. and that's what we've always known them as. But think about it. They look like pencils, right? They're made out of wood, you know, whatever. And you use them to color, so, you know, not to, you know, they're colored because they're different colors. So, you know, colored pencils, that's literally what they are. They're pencils that have been colored, like lead-wise. And that just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But, like, pencil crayons, they're not crayons shaped like pencils. Like, that's not what they are. Like, maybe if they were, you know, like, first of all, that'd be weird, because then you'd just be holding a pencil-shaped candle type deal.
Yeah.
But, you know, I get it, because that's legitimate, like, actually what they are. Like, you can't look at a colored pencil and, like, think of, like, actually ponder it for a second. You'll be like, no, I can see this. Why, like, it's an actual, like, colored pencil. But pencil crayon just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds weird.
Heavy ammo inbound.
And I don't know why they call it that. Like,
Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense to me.
yeah. And
I
it's
don't know what. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like it, as far as I know, it's just in the UK and Canada. Because, you know, obviously, you know, at one point the UK was just like, hey, Canada, you're mine. That's how it went down. That's exact historical representation right there. Any of you doing
Well, the Canadians can do a fight back.
right?
They're just too nice.
Yeah, they're just super nice, so they're just like, okay, here's our country. Have fun with it. For those of you doing a paper late this night, that's your answer right there. If you got a historical analysis of how the British took over Canada, because that definitely happened. There's your answer. Oh, I think I'm gonna go after this game too. And I couldn't self-res. I hated that in Crucible. But but yeah, it's just a weird word. I don't get it at all.
Yeah. I never understood, like, there's probably a reason behind it, but why are there, like, why is it hard to find gray colored pencils?
Why is it hard to what?
Find gray colored pencils.
Gray colored pencils.
Yeah.
Like, why is it hard to find them?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
If you buy a pack of colored pencils, there's almost never a gray in there.
That is very true.
I mean, it's because like your pencil, like a regular pencil is gray, but I don't know.
I mean, there are gray colored pencils, so it's a fair question. Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, they exist, just not in your... I mean, I guess in a way, because if you think about it, like, if you buy a regular pack of colored pencils just because you need colored pencils, right? You're not buying, like, the mega pack with, like, red, orange, and all of that crazy stuff. So maybe they just
Yeah.
assume, like, if you just want the essentials, then they're just going to give you the colors of the rainbow, obviously, black and white. Because push comes to shove, you just use your pencil, like you said.
Mhm.
But that is a very good point. Just like, why wouldn't they just throw gray in there?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh. And before I go, there's one thing that I can't remember what I was, like, thinking of. Because, you know, shower thoughts are a thing.
Yeah.
And that happens. Oh. I didn't really think about this, but I saw a thing that was pretty interesting. You know, Trojan, right? You know, condoms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If you think back, like, to the historical thing of the Trojan horse, because, you know, the Trojans, their mascot, I guess, is a horse or whatever.
Mhm.
And it was like, why would you name your product after something that let tiny, like, thousands of tiny little men out? And, like, it's a good joke and everything, but, like, thinking about it, no one really thinks about that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, who at Trojan was just like, this is what we're gonna name our product after this, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, they're supposedly, like, the best brand or whatever. Like, they're the brand everybody goes to, right? So,
Mhm.
like, they're, like, a trusted brand, but they're named after something that, you know, let hundreds of people out,
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that.
right? Neither would I, but then I saw that and I'm like, you know what? This guy's right. Like, entirely right. It was just a thing. Alright, I'm gonna head out, Jacob. I will
All right.
probably end up thinking about some more crap tonight, and then I'll just text you tomorrow when I get back home. Alright. See you, man.